Button. Okay. Good morning, everybody. I was asked to do a little tutorial on how I groom my Maine Coons and how I keep the mats down. And so this video is for you if you have a Maine Coon, if you have a long-haired cat, um, if you Belle is in my lap right now waiting to be groomed. She actually really loves it. If you tend to use a squirt bottle pretending that your cats don't get on the counters when you're not at home, and try to encourage them to stay off the counters while you are at home by using the squirt bottle, you probably need to think about not using a squirt bottle, and B, um, maybe change some of what you're doing, but I'll show you why in a minute. So we are now live, and I'm just kind of wondering where it's showing up. Kind of getting everything together here. And so let's see. Here we are. Yay. Goody. Share. Sorry, I'm going to try to copy this link and share it over to Facebook, which just decided to disappear on me. All right. Hi, Bluebell. Okay. There we go. It's kind of thinking about it. Okay. There's that. And are you going to go down for a minute? Are you going to go down for a minute, you think? Okay. I'm going to keep you in my lap for just a second here while I figure this whole thing out. All right. Yay. There we go. I'm going to write, we are live. Okay. Well, that's probably the rudest thing I've ever done, but here I am. Hey, hi, welcome. It just says Facebook user, so I don't actually know who is here. Yes, I just shared it to Best. So yeah, that was a great thing to remind me of. Thank you. All right. So here we go. First of all, this is Bluebell, and she is a 4-year-old Maine Coon female. She's a silver patch tabby and white. And to be quite honest, I've been doing this with her for her whole life because her coat is really fine. So pulling her hair is like pulling your own hair, and it hurts. So I try to be as gentle as possible, and she mats up quite easily. Excuse my hair. It's kind of a mess right now, but it's longer than I normally have it. All right, so here we go. First of all, I want to show you the stuff that I use so you can kind of gather your tools together. You need a Maine Coon. Present. All right. You need a brush, a comb. I use this kind of comb because the teeth roll and they don't grab onto the coat. It's I learned this when I was first beginning to show, and I really like these rolly teeth combs because of it not grabbing the coat. You're going to need a little flea comb. And why is that? Because with Belle, because she gets such fine little mats, especially underneath her arms here, front legs, I need to separate those hairs as best as possible. So a little fine tooth comb is really good. And you're going to need a seam ripper. As you can see, I use my seam ripper like that. And I'll show you how to use that in a minute. And just as an in-between thing, this is my nail clipper, and I use a nail clipper. Okay, so that's the tools, and then the products that I use. First of all, I learned this way back when I first began to show in like in early 2000s. This is called Sheen. Let me see if I can. My camera is opposite of what I'm doing, so it's a little bit tricky. There you go, Sheen. It's a horse product. It's for mane and tail, but it is a detangler, and so that's kind of a really important product. I do not use it from the bottle. I use it from put it in a little bottle, and which is what prompted my comment at the beginning of this video. If you saw it, I do not use spray to discipline my cats, and I never think that when I'm not at home that they are not going to get on the stove or the countertop. I don't delude myself like that because they're cats. So there is, hi, good afternoon. Somebody is here. It's afternoon for them. This is morning for me. So, and then I use cornstarch. This is just your basic, I'll get it pretty soon. There we go. Cornstarch. And I put it again in a little smaller container so I can easily pour it into my hand. Bluebell is not one. What I do not use are Q-tips. I never use Q-tips. I don't want to deal with ear problems and vet problems at all. And what I do not use are scissors. I never use scissors on my cat's coat, ever. And I'll show you why. Come here, boo-boo. This is, if you can see this, this is a cat's hair. Right there. This is a cat's skin. Not only is it really loose, it's also very flexible. So if you pull out a knot in order to cut it with a pair of scissors, you are really in danger of cutting their skin. So don't do that. Don't do that. All right. So the first thing I do is, of course, start with a combie. Hi. Oh, Alfie will be here in a little bit. Yeah. Okay. I start with a comb and just kind of comb the big loose stuff off. And as you can see, hey, I got a tweet. Oh, I'm going to turn that off so it doesn't annoy me. All right. So I just comb through, and it's kind of hard to see because here we are. Come here, boo-boo. Come here. Here we are. Here. Alfie. I'll go get Alfie in a minute because I want to show how that I start early. Alfie is a 5-month-old Maine Coon kitten. So I just kind of comb through. And as you see, Bluebell is pretty used to this. She's been doing this part her whole life. And then I reach a little potential mat. So my very first thing to do is to grab the seam ripper. And I know, so here it is. The point is up, and I go in to the mat and out away from the skin, into the mat and out away from the skin. Never, never, never do it toward the skin at all, because you're going to, you have a potential again of hurting the skin. So the very first thing I do, if I have, and find the mat, the beginning mat again. She's such fine hair. All right, we'll start over again here. Okay. All right, right there. These are just baby mats because I do this all the time with her. I mean, sometimes in the spring she gets really big mats. So I'll put my thumb right on the base of the mat. So I have no chance of hurting her at all, her skin. And I go into the middle of the mat at the beginning of it and out, in and out. I don't know if you can see that. All right. Here, let's see. I'm going to try to get up a little bit so you can see it better. Okay, good. Now she's on the other side and I have to find a different mat. Hi, baby. Okay. Yeah. Holding her up and trying to do this at the same time. You normally do this on my lap and it's easier. So I'm searching for a mat with my fingers. I find one right here because this is underneath her front legs are usually where they end up. And I go right into the mat and out, into the mat and out. I never go all the way down to the skin because, again, you can really damage the skin. Hey, now she's being a little bit. Now, if I find under here is normally where she gets the mats that really clump up, and especially, like I said, right in the spring and in the fall, she gets those big, huge mats that just clump and gather right near the skin. And hey, baby. Hey, baby. I know. So this is where this comes into play. Wait a minute. You're stuck on my sweater. There we go. Okay, here. Go right there. There. We're going to make you a star, okay? Okay. Now, so this is a squirt bottle, and if you use a squirt bottle for discipline on your cats, they're going to not like this very much, but I don't. So she's, like I said, she's used to it. There's a little mat right there. I just did a little tiny spray of Sheen right in there, like that. And then I take the cornstarch and I sprinkle a little bit into my hand, just a little bit, not much. We're not putting a whole bunch of crap on her coat. There, like that, and work it in. And then I just give her a good loving, let it dry in there a little bit. All right. Okay. Like that. Okay. I'm just going to let it dry a little bit, let it set, because it is a detangler. So just kind of give her a nice little brush to see if there's any other mats around. Like I said, she has this really fine fur. There. Like that. See? Come here, Luna. Okay. There. All right. All right. Now we'll go back to, since it's had time to set in there a little bit, we'll go back to the mat. It's right underneath her arm. Yeah, call it an arm, whatever. Okay. And I'm going to find it with my fingers, and it should be dry. And then like I said, I put my thumb on the base of the mat. So if I'm hurting anything, I'm hurting my own hand. And then I put the seam ripper up and I make it come out, and I make it go on up, and I make it go out into the middle of the mat. And then I spread it like that. And that really helps her not save up any mats for later, so that she's not getting those big clumpy mats. Baby, you know you're such a good girl. Look at you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was it. It got spread. Probably didn't see a whole lot but here it is. Let me see. Can I have your hand again? There. Here. That mat is completely gone. I just worked it through with my fingers. The detangler really helps. And then you just kind of get the basic part of it gone with the seam ripper. And then you take it and you just gently pull it apart like that. If you have a bigger one, you do the same exact thing, only it takes a whole lot longer. She has a lot of patience because I've been doing this with her for a long time. Yeah, cotton coat for sure. But yeah, so that's really because she gets mats so often. She's been she's like, okay, put me down now. There. There. Oops, I'm brushing my own sweater. There. There. Okay. Yeah. And that's really the way that I do it. I'll show you how I start my kittens out with doing this. So she obviously is relatively relaxed. Normally I do this on my lap and she just stays there. And then I'll take the time when I'm letting it set, when I'm letting the mixture set, I'll take the time to just look at her nails and see if she needs to have her nails clipped. You're done? You're finished? All right. Okay. I'm gonna let her out. Run! Now let's see. I'm gonna see. Do you guys have any questions about just that part? Because I'll show you next how I work with a kitten. And see, I did get a couple of mats out, so that was just by working it out and combing it. I think the biggest thing for a cottony coat like that is patience. You just have to really comb through it and be very careful um, and make sure that you're not if you ever use scissors on your cat's coat, throw them away or make your partner tape them to the underneath of your drawer. Hide them from yourself. Don't use them. And then also just make sure that you're going away from the skin. You're going into the middle of the mat, not down near the let's see, there we go, not down near the skin like that, but into the middle of the mat, up and away like that. So the only thing that will ever get poked, because you're going to hold that mat, even if it's a big mat, you're going to hold that mat away from the skin with your fingers, so that the only thing that will ever get poked if you go down too far are your own fingers. And yeah, it does hurt. I've done it before. So you just go into the mat, up and away. And what I do for a big mat is I start from the top and do some separations, and then I go down. So it'll start from the very top and loosen it up, and then go down, 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 and then try to loosen it up from the top down, so that you're not having to take that whole mat and making big bald spots on your cat. Let me see if Alfie's ready. Alfie, you want to come over here? Come here. Come here. Dobby's decided to come instead. Come here, Dob. Come on. Come on. Hi. Come on in. You want to be a movie star? All right. So Dobby is the cat that I'm showing right now. And he's gotten used to baths and stuff like that. So again, it's not really a fair estimation of how a new cat to this would act. But I'm going to show you anyway. Come here. Here's Mr. Dobby. Here he is, Dobby. So he's like, what is going on? He doesn't actually get mats in his coat, but I do check underneath his paws like that. And I do check on his, here, let's see. Can you get up here so that everybody can see you? I do check on his butt like this. This is, and see, he's stretching out his leg. He's pretty much used to me doing this. So like that. Is the thumb gets struck? Sometimes, yeah, sometimes I struck my thumb, but you know, I'd rather strike my own thumb than hurt the cat. So I'm gonna move him on this side, and I do the same thing for this side. I do the leg, and he'll just, there he goes. Here we go. Yes, good boy. Good boy. Normally where Dobby gets his mats is in this tail. So I do a big, he stores everything in his tail. I swear to God, he has a grocery store in his tail. Yeah, I know. Look at that. Why are you keeping a piece of lint in your tail here? Look at that. I don't know what that is. Oh, you don't go outside. So there. Thank you. He's such a good boy. You got snot in your nose too. All right. So if you can get your cats used to this process, you can get, look at this, you can get them just to kind of relax during this whole process and let you detangle their mats. Hey, Mimi. Hey, baby. Hi, Dom. Dobby. He doesn't care. Can I have your unders? Let me see. Oopsie, sorry. I didn't mean to drop you. There, like that. There. Let me see this one. Like that. Yeah, he doesn't have that cotton coat, so he doesn't end up getting mats. Thanks for showing. Thanks for showing up. Where's your buddy? Where's your buddy, huh? He's not going to move. Thanks, dog. You can go out. Where's your little guy? Where's your little buddy? Let me see if I can go find Alfie. I'll be right back. I don't know how else to do this. Alfie. Where are you, Alfie? Here he is. I know that was probably kind of rude, huh? Here we are on a live stream and I just walk away. Here he is. This is Alfie. He is a 5-month-old Maine Coon kitten. Here we go. Let me see. And here he is. He's a silver Mac tabby. No white. And these are the things that I do to get him kind of ready for being handled in the show hall and being handled for grooming. He has a really amazing undercoat. So I've been getting him used to doing some of this stuff. So first of all, I'll get him used to just being flipped over on his tummy and combed. And normally I'll kind of block the front legs from so that they're up. Here, this is better. Okay. So I'll hold the front legs up here and just comb underneath like that. It helps him get ready. And now, right now, he's just licking me. Here. Right now, he's just biting me. Like that. And then I will actually, even though he doesn't have a mat, I'll get the spray bottle out and I'll get him used to getting a little bit of the detangler underneath his legs where he would get mats. and brush it in so that he doesn't think that it's a bad thing. Like that, right? When he hears the spray bottle, it's not a bad thing. If I need to discipline my cats, like learning to keep them away from the door, I don't use a spray bottle, as I said. Yeah, it is still live. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. And it's going to go on to my YouTube channel. So you can go back to the beginning and see how I do it. But what I was saying is I forgot what I was saying. As you can tell, he's been already handled quite a lot. And so when I start doing his grooming on his tummy and stuff like that, he just sort of hangs out right there like that. And he's good with that. So, yeah, that's it. I think the hardest part to teaching a kitten how to accept handling is to just make sure that you do it a lot. You do it every day and expand their feet so that they get used to their feet being handled. Yeah, I know it. Give me kisses. You're a good boy. You're a good boy. Here he is, Alfie. This is Alfie. Yeah, I know. But so I know that was a very short tutorial. I even get over here and boy, here. This is good. See how I got his back leg, and I'll start handling his back leg, and I'll comb his back leg, because these are the places that you want to make sure that they're used to being handled, because these are the places that mat up. And if you're having a really hard cat to handle that hasn't been handled before, and that they don't like to be flipped on their belly, they really don't. So yeah. Yeah, I know, he is a sweet baby, isn't he? This is Stella's baby. This baby's going to Stella. Say hi, Mommy Stella. Yeah, he's a good boy. He's a really good boy. Yes, he is. Yeah. Yeah. So just start handling them early. Start getting them used to being touched early. Start getting them used to having their nails clipped early. He's already got his nails clipped. I do them every Sunday in the morning. I didn't even think about it, but this is the time that I would do it. I would just sit here and kind of clip his nails like that so that he doesn't scratch, and he doesn't scratch other people, right? Yeah. That is pretty much it. Does anybody have any questions? What do you recommend for knots that have been there a while? Same thing, same exact thing. So if you have a knot that has been there, so let's say that this whole mess has been there a little while, and I didn't notice it developing, which is in the spring. It's like I could turn around and all of a sudden Bluebell has a mat underneath right in this area here. I get so frustrated. So same thing. I use the Sheen, which is again this. I know it's kind of hard to see. Sheen. It's a horse detangler, mane and tail detangler. I put it in a little tiny bottle, and it's a little tiny spray bottle, and I just get to the base of the mat, and I will spray into the base of the mat with that, just a little, like couple spritzes like that, and then I'll work my fingers right into that mat. Hi. And then I will take some cornstarch, and I will just a little bit. My camera is backwards, so I'm having a little challenge there. Little pinch, and I will work it into the mat itself, and then I will let it set. And when I'm letting it set, I will, because I don't want to be ripping the coat. I just want to be taking that mat out. So I'll let it set there. And while I'm letting it set, that's the time that I kind of take time to do his nail. I'll clip his nails a little bit like that, clip his nails, like that. I just clipped his nails, so he doesn't need it. or I'll clean his ears with a cotton swab. Never use a Q-tip on cats' ears. They do have deep ears, unless the vet tells you to. They do have deep canals, but you could really hurt them a lot if you do that. Just use a Q-tip on the outside with a little bit of water. And once it's set in there and I feel it's not wet anymore, I will take the seam ripper again, and I'll start at one end of the big mat, and I will take my thumb and put my thumb and forefinger at the base of the mat where the skin is, because once again, the skin on a cat is really flexible, and if you use a pair of scissors, you're going to cut that skin. You don't want to do that. So you're going to put the seam ripper, you're going to put it like that, and it's going to go into the top of the mat and away like that. Oh, he hears his buddy. Where do I get it? Okay. There you go. The show Sheen. Okay, there. The show Sheen I get at any farm store, any farm and fleet, or whatever you have near you that is a Tractor Supply, that kind of thing, that has horse supplies. This is a horse product, and you can get it. It's, I think the bottle is about $12 or $15, and this has lasted me about 2 years. So it'll last a while. It doesn't expire. There's no expiration date. Yeah, so I paid $15 for this. And yeah, I've had it for a couple years. I use it on my show cats as well. So, and then I get these little bottles you can get at the dollar store for a group of 4 of them for $1.25 now. And then this is just normal cornstarch. You can get that at the store. I get it in big, huge things like this. It does come in smaller bits, but I use it a lot. So you want to do that. If you can't get that where you are for some reason, and then I put the cornstarch in a little tiny bottle as well, so I don't have to be messing with the big jar. If you can't get cornstarch for some reason, you can't find cornstarch, you can get baby powder, only baby powder that is cornstarch based. So do not get the other kind, because it is actually bad for cats. And this is the same thing. It has a little bit of scent to it, so I prefer not to use it because I don't really like my cats smelling a lot like baby powder. But this one, it says it's cornstarch based. That's what you want to look for if you happen to find baby powder. This was at the dollar store. It doesn't have any other thing in it besides cornstarch. So this one doesn't smell like baby powder. I would try to find something like this if you're going to go with baby powder. That really, then if you're going to get a seam ripper, I get a bigger one so that I can actually handle it. If I'm into the middle of the mat and pulling out like this, I need to have a little bit of grip on it. So I get a little bit bigger handle, and you can get these at any fabric store. Yes, I can tell you again, the brushes and combs. So anyway, I think this one I paid like $12 for because I wanted a bigger handle, but they do have them for 99 cents. I lose those. So I wouldn't recommend them just because the cats use them as toys and then I lose them. But so let's go over the brushes and combs again. This comb is a round tooth comb. The actual teeth in the comb will rotate. And that's a really good thing, because when you actually start combing the coat, it doesn't grab onto the coat. It just will comb through the coat, and it might get a little bit stuck, but then you can work it through it with the rotating comb. I never use a brush on my cats, even if they do have that cotton coat, because it rips the coat. And yeah, I never use a Furminator ever, because that actually has razor blades in it, and that rips through a coat too. If you get to a point where you've gotten a cat that has so many mats that you can't possibly slowly work through, then oh, then I would look at getting a groomer to shave off, do maybe a small shave, and then grow it back from there. But you really don't need to rip through with a Furminator. That's so bad for the cat's coat, and then it will keep being damaged. So yeah, this I'm not trying to advertise any particular brand, but I did just get this at Petco. I don't get any money for that. I just want to let you know where to get the stuff. So that's a nice round tooth comb, and I use it for all of my cats, all of my Maine Coons. Even if they have a fine coat or not. And then the second comb I use is a little Flea Comb. I use one with a little bit longer handle. You can get them really, really small, but I like to. Yeah, they are great combs. Yes, I agree. I like to get a little tiny Flea Comb because with cats that have cotton coat, you want to really be able to separate those hairs. You want to be able to really gently separate those hairs. And again, the way to do that is to put a little bit of cornstarch in that and just work the cornstarch in. Just really it does take time. And I know it's easier to rip that mat out, but overall their coat will be much more healthy, and you'll be much more happy if you don't have this cat with big patches of missing coat. And they'll be much more happy because they can keep what their coat does for them is insulate them. Yeah. It can take up to a year to grow their coat back in. And it's not something that I recommend. And here's the reason why. So both hot and cold, a Maine Coon has a very double layered coat. I have fur flying all over the place. And so in the winter, they use that double layered coat to stay warm. And if they're inside, they also use it as a regulator, a heat and cool regulator, so that they keep their body temperature the right temperature. And in the summer, they use that coat to stay cool because they will pant. But if your Maine Coon is panting, it's a medical issue, not to keep cool like dogs. Dogs will pant to keep cool, but Maine Coons, if they are panting, it's because they're having an issue. They don't pant to keep cool. So they do keep cool with their coat. Hey, Cindy Lou, how are you? Nice to see you. So you don't want to cut their coat. You really don't want to cut their coat off. And if you really need to, because all of a sudden in the spring, they have these huge mats because they are shedding that undercoat and getting ready for the summer and getting their really looser undercoat for the summer. And they have shed all that winter coat out, and they all of a sudden just clumped up, and you really need to get them shaved. It's going to take them at least a couple months to get some nice little coat back, but it's going to take a year to get their full real coat back. And I had to do a shave on one of my cats, Maddie. I called her Maddie because she matted up all the time. She had that really cottony coat, and I was on her every single day, just really getting all those mats out. But about 5 years ago, she had surgery, and I didn't want to pick at her mats while she was recovering from surgery. So I ended up having to, after she was recovered, I had to get her shaved, and she never got her real full coat back. She was older, so I would say that I would be really careful about doing that whole full lion cut that people seem to like, because Maine Coons do temperature regulate with their coat. Um, does anybody else have any questions? Because I think that is all I have. I just wanted to show you a really quick little groom and how I get some of the mats out. And I do stay on top of that every single day. And on Sundays, every Sunday, it's the day that I do the nail clipping, and so they get a really thorough all health check, and nail clip and ear clean and everything like that. And maybe next week I can show you how I do the entire health check every week. You're welcome. Thank you, Jamie, for being here. I really appreciate everybody being here. It's kind of fun. So I think that that is it, unless somebody else has some questions that they would like to ask. And I'm going to post this on my YouTube, and you can feel free to, look at it again and again, or make comments and, give it a thumbs down. I don't care. But at least it's there for a resource for you. I appreciate you coming, and have a really good day. Bye.